All right, Dr. Mike. Speaking on Dr. Mike Israetel, because someone asked me to give my opinion on it. Someone told me since I was an authority in the fitness industry, been around for few decades, to give my opinion on it. Now, I will say I have sent some of Dr. Mike's shorts to people because some of the information in there was on point, but I've never, let's just say, when I researched his app, and then some of the things he was saying was kind of a little bit off. And if you've been in the game or the industry, as we call it, for a while, you know, it's a lot of things you come to learn and know, and you study, you research. And the thing that he said about Mike Mentzer, him being better than Mike Mentzer and everything, when he said that, when he was sitting with Johnny Shreve, it kind of hit me a little bit weird, because a lot of guys, even if they educated and they get those degrees, it's like they still respect the kings, the titans that kind of built the game. You know, yeah, we know that they were, trying different types of steroids and stuff back then. They've admitted it. Arnold and them, that generation and era, they have admitted it. They never had a problem with admitting it. But it was just certain things he would say about training techniques. I was just like, me being a athlete, and it's kind of like, I know I didn't get my results, and I know the 15 men that trained with me and competed with me, we didn't get our results that way, and some of his methods, I was just like, and I would kind of go back to the thought that we would have, when I was going to school for training, when I got my first certification, there was a guy, I won't say his name because I don't want to put the brother out there, but it took him a long time to get his certification, longer than it should have. The program was a year program. It took him it was like 2 years. He made it longer as possible, but he's a very, very overweight guy. And what I learned being in the gym prior, just working out in the gym, working out in the dojo, training in the dojos and stuff like that. What I learned is, and you can ask a lot of other athletes and, bodybuilders, what I learned, the body gotta match the science that you're speaking. Now, somebody like Charles Glass, the godfather of bodybuilding, somebody like Robbie Robinson, even Arnold, Dorian Yates, even Ronnie Coleman, them guys, Phil Heath, my buddy Rich Piana that passed away, rest in peace, Rich. Even Kai Green, you kind of listen to these guys because you see the proof is in the pudding, and you know that they've, trained, and, they've pushed their body to that capability to achieve and acquire, that goal. And when Dr. Mike competed and he blamed it on tanning, I'm like, all the people you done had on your show, even your guy, Jared Feather or whatever his name was, the guy you call your son, they couldn't help you with tanning, man. I was like, that, don't nobody lose over tanning, man. It's like, even when I was bodybuilding, I did a few shows, guys would help each other out. It's like, I don't get that. It's like, I did some competitions where guys would kept, everything close to the chest, and it's a competition, so, F you, I ain't helping you do shit, I ain't showing you how to I ain't telling you nothing. But then there was some competitions where, guys would just tell you, because if they knew they had a better physique, and it's like, may the best man win type of deal. So they would help you out. They tell you, hey man, you're gonna shine on stage right there when the light hit it. They ain't gonna be able to see your pecs. Or if your legs was bigger, bro, you would have took me. Or man, you got some crazy abs, bro. So, excuse me. But to say that you're better than the greats who kind of built the game and the industry, and then get caught up with your research papers having all these errors and mistakes and everything. And let's keep it real. The internet is a popularity game. So right now, if I gained 1 million followers, I could probably get anybody to sit down with me and interview with me, because that's what they're going to look at. They're going to use that as the measurement stick. Oh man, he got 1 million followers, so if I go on here, that only helped me because he's up and coming, and so, don't fall for that okie doke, because, people will go on these podcasts of people they don't even like and disagree with, just to keep their brand and their personal stuff growing in this right way. If I'm a writer, which I am a writer and an author, and I'm putting a book out and promoting a book, if somebody called me, and it may be somebody who I even disagree with, me personally, I'm not gonna rock with people who I don't vibe with, but at the sake of business, I will understand people going on his show. It's like, even like people like Patrick McDavid, he'll have all kind of people on his show. Joe Rogan, all kind of people on his show, because they're an entity in themselves. So they'll have people come on because people know, if I get on Joe Rogan, if I get on PBD shows, I'm gonna blow. So so that him having people on his show and celebrities and stuff like that, whatever. But to be honest, in the gym world, and all my trainers out there can attest to this, if a person talking a lot of science, they ain't keeping up on the other side. Let's keep it real. We all may have worked in the gym. We all know the guy who don't go as hard. He a little overweight, or the girl who's overweight, and she will science her clients to death because he or she knows that their clients don't know anything or have knowledge of that, or they assume that. So they science their clients to death to keep their clients content with the fact that they don't look to part of what they're doing and what the business that they're in the industry. Now, a suggestion that I have made for trainers who, because, if you want to get into this industry, get into the industry, help people, change people's lives, save people's lives, help souls grow, whatever, it's about helping people live longer. That's what we about, so I'm not going to frown on anybody getting into it. But a suggestion I used to always make, and one of my peers did take this into account. I said, if you're overweight and you have fallen in love with this industry and you want to help people grow with your clients, meaning you get on the right food track, meaning you get on the fitness track, meaning if you have a couple of clients that you can work out with. I worked out with like 3 or 4 clients sometimes in a day. Even though I still trained 2 hours with my team, I still worked out. Shout out to Andrew, shout out to Brian, shout out to Sean, because y'all know we used to get it in, and they be like, damn, dude, how you get the energy? I don't know. I love what I do. But grow with your client. Your client's trying to lose weight. Hey, you know what? You brought this diet to me. You want to see how this works? Let's do this together. Hey, you brought this supplement to me. Let me research it. Let's work this thing out together. Grow with your client. But if you're overweight in this industry and you're standing in front of someone and trying to get them to get to a goal that you not have yet achieved, or you've not have been an athlete, or you have not pushed yourself to that thorough ability of accomplishing something where you know what their client is going through, I don't have to, I've been overweight, muscularly overweight, so I know what it feels to have to try to lose weight, cut weight, do this, do that. I've been on numerous ups and down nutrition plans to get to goals. I've had an injury that was hard to come back from, that kept me in a lot of pain, and I had to restructure my whole left side because I had that injury. I've gone through the gambit of pushing my body to the fullest extent to get what I need and get to a goal, so I can express that to my clients. So I'm not hard on my clients to the point where they feel like I'm defeating them with my encouragement. And if you get too sciencey, it's like being too preachy. You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody can preach out of a book and blah, 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 blah. Are you living it? And that's the thing. lead by example. And Dr. Mike, I already knew when he said he was going to compete in bodybuilding, before he even said it out his mouth, I knew he's doing that to get the authority to say that what he's teaching, what he's pushing is better than everything that came before him, even though it's a proven fact that that's not true. So that's my take on Dr. Mike Israetel. I'll be posting this on Train the World or Shut Up and Train. As always, peace, fight for your life.